recommended by the planning commission. Which I think we all have a copy of that, we did that. Yep. H would be to approve our attorney making suggested changes to our ordinances code that we sent to him a couple months ago. That's H. What's that?
These are all action items, Bill.
Yep, all that. Yep. I will be to approve the township purchasing gas from the village. J will be to discuss how we're going to proceed with the hiring of an engineer, which is something we'll need to do before the next meeting if we want to make our grant. So we'll discuss that in more detail when we get to it, but we will take action on as to how we're going to proceed. And K would be to approve our attorney to proceed with our Thurston Park project as far as the lease that we're into, the 99-year lease, and who has proper ownership of it. And that is all the amendments I'd like to make. That's it. Just a few more. That's all I have.
Old business.
Yes, it is
Old business.
business. I'd like to add that we will discuss the trustee manual which we received back from Brian and Ryan. And Joe will be discussing the DEQ permit that we received. Under old business. And now I'll accept the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Support. Motion by Clark, supported by Chapman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'll accept the motion to approve the minutes of the January 14th regular board meeting.
So moved. Support.
Motion by Battery, support by Clark. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Any public comment? Yes, Joe.
I just had, wondered if the council give a status update on two items, that logging money, got any input or ideas how to use that? And also the ice rink idea that was discussed for the pavilion. And also, one other thing, last time, somebody pretty much castigated the police department chief. And I took some umbrage at that, because I think he's done a really, and the department as a whole has done a really good job. They've been competent and professional, I thought, in my dealings with them. And I thought their coverage plan that I observed, you know, is sufficient and probably the best you can get for a small town such as ours. And I think somebody might have commented on that at the meeting from the council. But I wanted that on the record just because I thought that was somewhat, from my viewpoint, somewhat unfair. But I take the opposite viewpoint of those comments made at the last meeting by whoever that was.
Thank you. I'm sure that thanks you.
Thank you.
You never hear enough of that, do you?
And as for,
Not often.
if we can discuss the ice rink, I think we know. I think the ice rink was, of course, all approved and ready to go, and I think because of the weather, it just hasn't happened. I mean, it's all up to them. So there's nothing standing in the way of that. I think the weather was a big drawback to it.
It got too warm.
Got too warm, and
Right.
so
She's been in touch with me.
the lights have been taken care of, right? She's been in touch. So I mean, if they're ready to go, everybody in this end is ready to go. As for the money, the logging money, there's really been no discussion on it, other than we have it, and we have no intentions of spending on anything at this point that I know of.
No ideas
Other than-
anybody?
Well, I think council's had some ideas, and I think if one were to be thrown out, it would be the Donaldson ball field and the fencing around that, so the school could have tournament play in softball. But again, that's just an idea going out. We're working a lot in Thurston Park right now. There's been talk of maybe using it as a grant matching funds. Right now, everything's talk. Have we got anything from the public people? Not that I'm aware of.
Has it been put on the website, you know, asking for input? We talked about that last meeting. Was that
Not yet.
ideal? Would you do that? Would that be something you'd want to do? Those people would need to know about it, I'm sure, you know. But, just up to you guys.
No, I think the council's in agreement, we do, I just don't know, we've got a lot on our plate right now, I guess what I'm saying, so I don't know if now is the right time to dive into that, but I know we won't, in my opinion, we won't spend it until we get a lot of public input on it. Any other public comment? We'll close the public comment period. Scott, police report?
Okay, appreciate Mr. Renner's comment, it's not often heard, but goes with the territory. Hopefully everybody get a chance to look at the report. Kind of a slow month, we kind of are wrapping up last year's fiscal year, or not fiscal year, but the annual year for everything that we have to do, doesn't have to do anything here, but end of year stats and stuff like that. After I spoke with you guys last time, you guys gave us the green light to fill Brett's position. Been in talk with Bill Chapman, and we've kind of come to a plan. We've kind of pretty much taken some applications just unofficially. Came up with a good candidate that works at the sheriff's department that obviously is work here. Name's Josh Jones. He worked here for about 1.5 years. Went to work for the sheriff's department, and he's interested in coming back 1 day a week and kind of help fill in the blanks and stuff like that. I really wasn't for that at first, but it's actually kind of a good deal because us as a village, we get to benefit from somebody that can hit the floor running. All this training and education, everything's all taken care of, so we can kind of just plug him in where needed. Unfortunately, with a small town like we have, you know, if I give you a perfect example, like domestic violence, you know, I may handle 1 or 2 every so often, but not that often. If you have a new person that's out of college that really doesn't know what's going on and, you know, with their feet not too wet, it's kind of hard to plug them in and get them to catch up to speed really quick here, so. He seems to think that he can do this pretty much long term, so we don't have to worry about filling a position like we have been in the past where somebody just comes, finds a full-time job and then bounces out of here, so. And we'll see how that goes. If not, I got in touch with another person that could fill in a spot a couple days a month too, to kind of make sure that we're again not going over what you've already allotted for the part-time help. So I feel really confident that we'll have this up and running. I kind of wanted to drag it out a little bit. I was talking to Joel a little bit as far as finishing up this fiscal year, so I'll kind of drag it into like March, so we'll be in the new budget. So that way I feel a bit more comfortable with our current budget that we're not going to go over, so we'll be good there. So probably by the time we have a next meeting next month, he'll be on board, ready to go, and it's just a matter of getting him sworn in and you know, give him a few things that we don't have, and he's ready to go.
Any questions?
And I've got Josh's application and his stuff, if anybody would like to look at it, we'd be more than glad to take a look at that, stuff like that. Pretty much everything else, kind of standard, like it's a little bit slow. There's an item on there, we had a dog run into our patrol car, so he's missing now, so we'll get that taken care of here shortly, probably when the weather gets a little bit nicer.
Was the dog okay?
No, the dog didn't fare too well, so, still alive, but didn't fare too well, but animal control came and helped out with that, so. That's kind of where we're at. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Dan?
Very untypical month, lots of snow plowing. You'll notice on your report, 103 hours of overtime in the month of January. That's all pushing snow and hauling snow, just unbelievable. So of course the fuel's up. I'm concerned about the budget. It's gonna be real close on the 2 street departments, how we come in, depending on what the end of February is. 1 light pole got hit, you'll see that on there. DPW hit it. The new light is in the works of being sent to us, they gotta make it. And then they'll send it to us, and we have to make a decision if we wanna claim it on insurance or not.
Do you know the cost on that yet, Sam?
I believe, the last one we replaced was $1,242 for the light.
I did get a hold of Pat and Weldon, and they said they would be interested in looking at that one to see if it's weldable also for a spare.
Yep. You got 200. 200. Right, Pat? I'm pretty sure it's $200 deductibles what we pay on any claim we turn in. And number one, Act 51, MDOT money, has been filed with MDOT, so we're all square there. Any questions? If not, thank you.
I'd like to say thanks for the 103 hours overtime. I think downtown's been great this year. I really do. I think
It's been
cleaned
tough
up
one.
early in the morning. I think you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
I have no correspondence. If anybody has any. Committee reports. Streets and sidewalks, Rob?
I think Sam said it best, pushing snow, hauling snow.
Very good. Rob, you want to?
Yeah, it was pretty quiet. Got a request for a sewer hookup in the spring, and there was one complaint of frozen water, but it was actually turned off. It was in the house.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing we had to do anything with.
Bill, Walt?
I think Chief covered everything pretty much the way we had to talk about. I think it's got things rolling pretty good, no big hurdles for the
Denise, communications?
Yeah, at our Parks and Recreation Committee meeting, we had talked about brochures for the park. And I stopped and talked to Jack at the print shop and got some quotes on what, brochures like this would, cost. So I've got that information, if you wanna go over it, sometime. I've got the prices and a couple samples.
I think we need action items there, Denise, we've got it in there to address the recommendations from all of us that took on different tasks during that.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise?
Yep.
Joe, finance and personnel.
Pretty standard. Doing a lot of stuff. Talked with Sam quite a bit, he's called me every time before they go into overtime doing the streets, and my suggestion to him every time that need to be done, let's get them done. We've had a couple of emails, regarding the sidewalks and how some people didn't think they were plowed good, and Sam's worked on that. We got a return email that says, thank you for doing the good job.
And now she's happy.
And so I think Sam and them again have been doing a great job with that. I don't think, right off our budget, we've looked over our budget, all of our our fund balances are gonna come in. We've got a couple, one questionable one, our sewer, partially my fault or our fault for not missing, we missed one billing cycle in the updated cost on that. But other than that, everything's looking real good with our budget. Pat's gonna work with our auditors to get everything straightened out, a few things, and we're looking pretty good. We did go forward with a backup on our computer with Iron Keep. We're moving forward also with Iron Keep is going to archive all of our emails according to our retention schedule. And this is gonna be later yet?
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess I could put it out there, we've got some, just quotes for some IT support and some different aspects of different things, and we're gonna discuss that a little later in action items.
Thank you. Leela, Art?
Okay, we have a meeting down at the park discussing our frontage down there on the lake and other things, and the bathroom and so forth. That will be brought up later on in the action items, but we did have a very good meeting with the gentleman, so we hope that we can get some improvement down there.
Thank you. President's report, Bill covered most of them for me. Rob and I attended a DNR seminar on Thursday on the grants, which was very informative, so I'm glad we went. We got a lot of good information on grants, which we'll talk about later in proceeding on that. So I thought it was a good use of our time to attend that seminar. I'm very pleased with it. Of course, we've got all of our codes, ordinances, everything back from Brian Graham. He's looked at them. We'll talk about the trustee policy. His thought was we should contact the company about it, I'll probably say the word wrong, I don't know if it's codification or codification, but there's companies that look at them and make sure everything's in proper format. I have a couple companies giving us a price, I don't know. My assumption's gonna be, it's gonna be a lot of money, and we're gonna discuss whether we need to go down that road or not, but he said you definitely don't wanna pay an attorney to do it, because there are companies that'll do it for a lot less than attorney fees. So we're working through that. I guess while people are here, I'd just like to make the comment that, of course, I sit on the PC, the planning commission. We're currently down to 3 members. We need 5, and any word people get out there, any public, we need people on this planning commission. We should have a very active, involved planning commission. We have 3 people that are active and involved, but we need more. We need to get our planning commission up and running and being effective, so.
Ken, we aren't allowed to have anybody else from the
Yes,
council.
one person can be outside of the village.
One person off the council.
Oh, off the council, off the council.
Right.
Only 1/3 of the membership on the council can be, so that for a 5-person council, that leaves only 1 person. As far as if in the village, that's what I thought you were asking,
No.
1 person on the planning commission can be from outside the village limits. That's on the 5-person planning commission.
We're gonna discuss that
We
for
want
just
to
a
be, Bill.
second. I think this would be something that we should really discuss, getting a joint planning commission with our township, because anything that we do in the village is going to encompass the township also. And so it would be nice to start working that venture with the township as a joint planning commission. Councilman Mullins, any thoughts?
And I guess another comment, I wasn't gonna discuss, but I am, just so it's a matter of record. There's been complaints made about how the village handles FOIA requests. To my knowledge, the village has fulfilled every FOIA request, answered. As a matter of fact, there's some on the desk that have been there for over a month that have not been picked up. We follow every FOIA rule. We do not request FOIA, information to be requested by FOIA to avoid giving out information. We request it so we have a record of the information was given out and picked up, because there were issues with people claiming we weren't giving out information that wasn't asked for. So I actually took personal resentment, and I'm sure Pat did too, by comments being made that we weren't fulfilling it and that we were trying to hide behind FOIA. So just so everybody knows, that's not the case. I think it's bad policy to expect any council member to sit up here and hand out any information they want to anybody with no record. I think that's a bad road to go down. I think FOIA is fair. I think the fact that they pay the actual cost of the copies they get is fair, because I don't think the burden should be on you to pay for other people's requests for information. It's usually very small cost. So I hope it's publicly known that our village handles FOIA properly. We do it for the right reason. So that's all I want to say about that. With that, that is the end of my report. I'll accept the motion for the approval of bills, prepaid in the amount of $1,276.23, payroll in the amount of $5,996.09, payables in the amount of $10,047.42, for a total amount of $17,319.74.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Thayer. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Battery,
Yes.
Bodley,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Thayer,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Cruising.
Yes. Motion passed. New business. Did you want to comment at all on just the fact that
Yeah, actually, the new business, the IT contract, what we did is we had Iron Keep in, doing our backup and archiving of our emails, and they approached us with actually doing an IT contract with them. It would amount to, in the ballpark, they're still getting back with us, of $40 to $45 per computer, 2 computers, Pat's and Scott's. It's a on-site, or a remote and on-site unlimited IT, from my understanding with it. I'm not exactly sure on the contract, did that come in
There.
yet, or not?
it's there, but to be honest with you, I need to talk to them, I'm sure you too, with Cory.
Yeah,
and
so I
other
just
people
said
who
that's-
know what they're telling us, because I'll tell you, they use words I don't know, and I'm not gonna get involved in something that I don't know what they're truly telling us they're giving.
I also stopped and talked with Cory today. He would like a chance in giving us a quote to do this also. So I guess I would, for the time being, would say let's just table this and get some more good information. I think Corey he's been a great help when it comes to understanding some of the outsides into it, and so I definitely would like to see us keep that business local if possible, so. If nobody has a problem with that, we'll just table that particular aspect right now.
Yes. Action items. According to state statute, which, I'll be honest, I forgot about it last month. When we appoint a clerk treasurer, it's a 2-year appointment that coincides with the president's term. Every 2 years, that has to be reappointed. That's the state statute, it's something we have to do to abide by it, so I'm gonna make the recommendation that we reappoint Pat Marshall for a 2-year term.
Support it.
Motion by Cruzy, supported by Bobby. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Yeah, 2 more years. And at the same time, we need to appoint a FOIA coordinator. That's once again under the FOIA Act. So my recommendation would be that we appoint Pat as our FOIA coordinator, which means all FOIA requests will go through Pat. So motion by Cruzy, support by Chapman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. A while back, I think, I would guess in the fall, am I correct? We talked about upgrading
Yep, the last
the
little
electric
while
in the
was here.
campground. And we said we would bring it up again before spring, so we can move forward. So everybody has a copy of the proposal?
Yep, it was in our packets. Yeah. Our electric, $1,500 to upgrade that to 200 amp panels and transfer half the load to the new service panel. I would make a motion that we allow our electric to do that.
I'll support.
Motion by Bobby, support by Pierre. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Pat.
Batterby,
Yes.
Bodler,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Cruising.
Yes.
Just so you all know, that was budgeted in the 2013-14 budget.
With the council's approval, I'd just like to move D to the end, because I think